Have you ever imagined yourself staying at home, watching movies, cooking, exercising, sleeping, without working at all and still earning money? Yup, if you think this is just fantasy and it's impossible to do, well, this is what the rich actually do. And this is also the reason why there's a big gap between the rich and the poor. Because as a big percentage of the population are working for money, living paycheck to paycheck, the rich on the other hand is the opposite. Money is working for them 24/7. No matter where they are, like they're on a vacation, dining out with friends, or just simply sleeping, they are still making money, and it does not stop there. They are so efficient that the money they earn while doing nothing makes even more money for them. This creates a bigger gap. As Warren Buffett once said, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. When I realized this, I was motivated to study how the rich do it. I want to incorporate that thought of me making money without doing anything into my life, and so I found about investing, mainly dividend investing. I started in 2019, just months after I graduated, exactly 6 months, because in that 6 months, I was kinda lost on how I would start investing. I haven't shared this, but I was lost because I could not find a way on how I can learn about investing here in the Philippines, how to value stocks, because most YouTube channels here during that time talk about trading, and that is actually the first thing I did. I thought it was how you valued stocks just by looking at those candlesticks and charts. Good thing I stumbled upon some finance channel from another country talking about value investing. That is when I started reading books about it. This is also the reason why I started my YouTube channel, to have someone here in the Philippines who talks about long-term investing that shows their progress and actually shows their real portfolio, not just some cutout portfolio tracker they just did. But anyway, as years go by, my investment portfolio is giving me 10k a month of dividends. This is already after taxes, by the way. And I just want to point out, I didn't get this overnight. I acquired this for months of investing consistently. I don't have a 6-digit salary, so it took me a while to get to this amount. Some of you guys who earn more than me can get this even faster. You just have to know where to put your money. I started with only 100 worth of dividends a year, then climbed to 40k, 80k, then 120,000. Now I know this isn't some huge amount of money that can help me retire, but this money is a start. If for example I felt like stopping, like I won't contribute a single penny to my investment portfolio and just reinvest the dividends, after 20 years, my portfolio would grow to 10 million and my dividend income by then would be 600,000. This is all from dividends alone. This doesn't account for capital gains. So even if I stop right now and just let my portfolio be, before 50 years old, my passive income would be around 50,000 a month. If I extend that for 12 more years, which would be my 60th birthday, by that time, my portfolio would have grown to 24 million and is earning me almost 1.5 million a year. That is the power of my portfolio right now. Just imagine, even if I don't contribute anything to my portfolio starting now, it would still grow this big. So this is what I talked about a while ago, how the gap between the rich and the poor gets bigger. With this small amount, I can create a large enough portfolio, so what more those that have already a large sum of money? Just imagine how much they are compounding their money. That's why to start this process of creating your passive income, making money work for you instead, you have to start early. In investing, time is your friend. The earlier you start, the better. As I said a while ago, compounding takes time to work. Just put this as an example. Someone who invested 10,000 a month at age 23, if he or she got a 6% dividend yield a year on his or her portfolio and reinvested everything, would retire at 60 with a 20 million pesos portfolio that earns 1.2 million pesos a year worth of dividends. And this is all from dividends alone. We aren't factoring capital gains with this estimation. But what if you started at age 33 and just doubled the amount just to catch up to the 10 years of not investing? In your 60, you would only have a portfolio of 17 million with a dividend yield of 1 million. So even though you doubled the amount you invested every year, you still weren't able to catch up to someone that invested 10 years earlier than you. The total amount you invested was 6.2 million pesos compared to the 10k a month starting at age 23. You only contributed 4.3 million. Even with a higher amount contributed, you still ended up with a lower portfolio value. This is the power of compounding returns. You have to be disciplined enough to let it grow over the years, which a lot of investors fail to do. They give up at the start because the growth in their portfolio is so slow. Even I felt this way in the first years of investing. I was only earning a few thousand during those times, but in just 4 years, it grew to reach 100,000. My passive income can be compared to someone who earns the rest as a pension or someone who's renting a small condo unit. Just imagine how much my portfolio would grow 5 or 10 years from now. I know it may take some time, but I know it will be worth it. Just look at how Warren Buffett grew his wealth. 99% of his net worth he got after turning 50, and it skyrocketed after that. So just stick with it. The start is always the hardest. Just take it from what Charlie Munger said. I know I've said this in my previous video, but I just got to repeat it. The first 100,000 is but you gotta do it. I don't care what you have to do. If it means walking everywhere and not eating anything that wasn't purchased with a coupon, find a way to get your hands on $100. After that, you can ease off the gas a little bit. Now, before we continue, if you're new to investing and don't have any clue on how to value and analyze companies, where to get the data, then there's a simple solution for you, which is simply Wall Street. They have graphs, comparisons, and explanations wherein a beginner investor could understand, and the way they present it is so clear and organized. They also have a filter for you, which makes searching for companies faster. Just tweak the values you are looking for in a company. So this will help you out not only for local stocks, but also for international stocks as well. They have it all for you here. There's more. They have a watch list for you that will update you when the stocks will pay dividends, when earnings are released, when insiders are buying or selling, and when the stock falls below its intrinsic value. Yes, they compute that as well for you, which is really useful, especially if you're a beginner investor. They also have a portfolio tracker that lets you assess the health of your portfolio. So if you want to try it out, they offer their basic plan forever free. And if you do want to avail of their paid plan, then by using my link, you can get up to 40% discount. So what are you waiting for? Try Simply Wall Street. Now back to the video. So just as Charlie Munger said, you gotta race for that first 100k. Here in the Philippines, that first million. And after that, the second million would be a lot faster. And it's all thanks to compounding. Now as I said, this isn't an overnight success. It takes time and discipline to amass a great fortune using this strategy, and you have to know how to do it properly. The Philippines is a haven for dividend stocks, especially right now, with our market still trading sideways for more than a decade. But the earnings of the companies here have skyrocketed beyond its pre-pandemic level. The same goes for their dividends, as dividends are connected to the earnings of the company. So the more they earn, the higher the chance they will give more dividends. So you have to look for these companies that pay out dividends consistently and are consistently growing their earnings as well. What I look for are companies that have good growth in revenue and earnings, handling their debt well, and of course, you have to pay the right price for it. My strategy doesn't just rely on pure dividends, I also want capital gains. That's why I see to it I'm buying the companies at the right price, at a discounted price. If you don't know how to do this, to find the intrinsic value of a company, then I have a video for it, linked down below. Though this isn't an exact science, and there's that possibility that the stock price would continue to go down after I buy it, but that doesn't concern me at all, because I know the company has good financials. That's why if it goes down, I just continue buying even more. And for me to create a better source of passive income, I diversify my portfolio properly. Now hear me out first. I know a lot are saying, isn't a concentrated portfolio better than a diversified one? Well, none is right or wrong for me, because countless investors have been successful with a diversified portfolio as well as a concentrated one. It's all up to you. Do you think you can handle putting all your eggs in one basket? If yes, then go. If you're more comfortable that way, then stick with that. For me, I'm comfortable spreading it in different companies. Well, I don't just diversify for the sake of diversifying. I see to it every company I'm putting in my portfolio will fall to my standards. Strong financials, well-handled debt, gives consistent dividends, and is trading at a fair price. If it's missing one, I won't invest in it. This is a mistake a lot of investors make. They just diversify randomly just to spread their risks. And there's more to it. I only invest in the amount of companies I can keep track of. The best part of this, I get consistent dividends spread throughout the year. And when I do get the dividends, I reinvest them back into a company that will pay dividends for the upcoming months. This allows me to start that snowball effect of growing my dividends instantly. So this is how you can choose between a concentrated or a diversified portfolio. No one can answer that for you. It all comes down to your risk tolerance, how many can you keep up with, and your goals in investing. All of these factors would allow you to come up with a strategy that truly fits your investing life. So I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did and still haven't clicked the like button, then I would greatly appreciate it if you do so before leaving. Thank you and see you in the next video.